Saint Peter Chanel, Witness of Christ through Gentleness and Martyrdom. This reflection is prepared by Father Abe Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. Birth and early life. Saint Peter Chanel was born on July 12, 1803, in the small village in eastern France. He was the fifth of 8 children born to Claude Francois Chanel and Marie-Anne Sibelius, a humble farming family. From a young age, Peter exhibited a pious spirit, a sharp mind, and a tender concern for others. Encouraged by his parish priest and family, he pursued his studies for the priesthood despite modest means, call and vocation. After completing his seminary training, Peter Chanel was ordained a priest for the Diocese of Belley in 1827. His first assignment was as an assistant pastor in the rural parish of Amberou. He served faithfully, gaining a reputation for his gentleness, tireless dedication, and the deep fervor of his pastoral care. Later, he was appointed pastor at Crozet, where he revitalized the faith of a once indifferent community. Yet a deeper longing stirred in his heart to become a missionary. He was inspired by stories of mission work in distant lands and yearned to bring Christ to those who had never heard the gospel. This desire led him to join the newly founded Society of Mary Marists in 1831, an order particularly focused on missionary work under the patronage of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Mission to the Pacific. Wallis and Futuna. In 1836, the Marists were entrusted by Pope Gregory XVI with the mission to evangelize a portion of the vast Pacific Ocean region. Peter Chanel was chosen to be part of the first group of missionaries. After a long and perilous journey, Chanel and his companions arrived on the islands of Wallis and Futuna in 1837. He was assigned to Futuna Island, a place isolated, steeped in tribal warfare, and ruled by traditional chieftains. Chanel set about learning the local language and customs. His method was simple but profound: kindness, humility, and patience. Though his early efforts bore little visible fruit, he gradually won the trust and affection of the islanders through his care for the sick, his defense of the weak, and his unwavering gentleness. Martyrdom. However, Peter's growing influence caused concern among the local king, Neuliki, who feared that Christianity would undermine his authority and traditional power structures. The king's son, Maytala, expressed an interest in baptism, which heightened the tension. On April 28, 1841, the king ordered Chanel's assassination. A group of warriors, led by a man named Musumasu, attacked Chanel at his home. They brutally beat and clubbed him to death. Chanel accepted his martyrdom peacefully, forgiving his attackers even as he was dying. Accomplishments and impact. At the time of his death, Chanel had baptized only a few islanders, yet his martyrdom was not in vain. Within a few years after his death, almost the entire island of Futuna converted to Christianity, inspired by the memory of his sacrifice and the continued efforts of the Marists. Peter Chanel became known as the proto-martyr of Oceania, the first to shed his blood for Christ in that vast region. Canonization. Peter Chanel was beatified in 1889 by Pope Leo XIII and canonized on June 12, 1954, by Pope Pius XII. He is the patron saint of Oceania, and his feast day is celebrated on April 28, the day of his martyrdom. Lessons from the life of Saint Peter Chanel. Patience in mission. True evangelization is slow, gentle, and grounded in sincere love for the people we serve. The power of witness. Sometimes the greatest fruit of our efforts appears only after our time, or even after our death. Forgiveness. Even in the face of betrayal and violence, a Christian is called to forgive. Simplicity and charity. The gospel is best preached not only in words but especially in humble acts of love and kindness. Question for reflection: am I willing to plant seeds of faith through small acts of kindness and love, even if I may never see the fruits myself?